then. I kind of
All right, let's get to the NBA now, because for the fourth time in the last 5 years, James Harden is switching teams. Sources tell Shams Charania that the Clippers are trading the 36-year-old point guard to Cleveland in exchange for their point guard, Darius Garland, and a second-round draft pick. Now, Harden averaged 25 points and 8 assists in 44 games with LA so far this season. Garland, though, he's only played 26 games for the Cavs, and the team went 13-13 in those games. All right, speaking of Shams, he's in the building once again. So you had said that Harden might be involved in something with us last night on SportsCenter. Why Cleveland, and how did this whole thing come together?
This came together because he had a mutual option in his contract for next season. And that allowed both sides to come together the last few days and figure out what does the future look like. And is there a beneficial path forward, an outcome forward for both sides? Because James Harden wants to be in a win-now situation. He made that clear to the Clippers, and also somewhere where he has a longer-term future. Next season and beyond was not promised for him in LA. He viewed Cleveland as fitting both of those criteria as far as a win-now championship potential chance, as well as a longer-term future there. And for the Clippers, they get a player in Darius Garland for the now and being competitive now, but also for the future.
Yeah, 26.
James Harden, 36 years old, and like you just said, Michael, you have Darius Garland at the age of 26. It's very rare for two prolific star players to be traded with a 10-year age gap that we saw here today with James Harden and Darius Garland.
So Harden goes from the Clippers, and his teammate there was with, essentially Kawhi Leonard. Now he goes to play with Donovan Mitchell. What are you hearing about how that relationship might work out?
Nicole, I'm told that James Harden and Donovan Mitchell have already connected, and James Harden has spoken with Donovan Mitchell, and both seem very excited about this partnership. You think about two high-powered elite guards. James Harden has played with a plethora of elite players that score and have the ball in their hands throughout his whole NBA career. But let's look at what the Cavs have done over the last few days. Keon Ellis and Dennis Schroeder in the backcourt in that trade with the Kings. Today, they bring in James Harden. It's clear in Cleveland they want to put together the pieces around Donovan Mitchell to try to win a championship. The Clippers are playing more for the long run. The Cavaliers understand there's a finite moment that they have here over the next couple of years, 3 years, to try to win a championship with Donovan Mitchell at the helm. James Harden, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. You got Max Strus coming back. They got other pieces. Jalen Tyson, who's emerged as a great player already in his career. They are in full championship mode. We've seen it with the pieces this week.
And if you're James Harden, you look at the landscape right now, you think you have a better chance of getting to the NBA Finals with the Cavs in the East than you do the Clippers in the West. And he doesn't have a ring. That's the one thing missing from his resume.
Okay, so this is just like one of the pieces. We're still waiting on that big domino. Don't go too far. We want to dig more into the James Harden situation. We'll get to Giannis in a little bit. More on Harden.
Los Angeles Clippers trading James Harden of the Cleveland Cavaliers for Darius Garland, second-round pick. Sources tell ESPN. It is a prolific swap of the star point guards. Let's bring Shady first. Let me get your opinion on this matter. What was your instant reaction to it?
I was always surprised, though, right? But then again, I read some reports, I think a couple of days ago, where they might move him, and both parties agree with that's the Clippers and James. I guess my question is, and Slick, you probably can answer this best, but so he's going to the Cavs, and I'm thinking, like, all right, he's a ball-dominant player, but Mitchell's there, he's ball-dominant. But then again, I guess the pick and roll with them two bigs might do well with James. So I guess it can work, right? Him playing defense might be an issue, but then again, if you got them bigs down low, it helps out a lot if guys can't really guard that well up top. So I guess I like it, though. I like it.
Slick, what was your instant reaction to the trade?
I was a little surprised that the Cleveland Cavaliers were giving up on Darius Garland, to be honest with you. He's a young kid who still has not seen his best days, and they have him on a reasonable contract. I think he's making close to 40, got a couple more years on that. But this is, to quote the great Cardi B, I don't dance now, I make money moves. That's what we're talking about here. I mean, honestly, all the moves that you're going to see, the majority of moves that you're going to see here at the trade deadline, including your Golden State Warriors, which I'm sure we'll get to, has so much to do with the cap. The Cleveland Cavaliers have the second highest payroll in the league right now.
Oh, wow.
And James Harden has a player option for next year. The Clippers were in the same situation. They're saying, James, we're not going to extend you. We want to move on, and we have an opportunity to bring a young guard in here and change the dynamic. That's what we want to do. So let's take you someplace where you're going to have a chance to play in the postseason this year, and then you can figure out where you want to go beyond that. And Cleveland's like, I don't know that this is a long-term solution for them. I think they had an opportunity to get off some $40 million.
Hey, Slick, real quick, do you think that they will sign him though, or is it like, let's prove it in the playoffs and see? Because he has an option though, player option, right?
He does, but I'm sure that James is looking for more than just exercising the player option. Nobody wants to go into that last year and thinking this is it, because it might be it.
Slick, let me ask you this though. Does Harden get the Cavs closer or further from a chip? Because Harden himself, when he has had to be the number 2, and he'll end up being the number 2 inevitably despite it, when Harden himself has been number 2s, he doesn't help get teams to finals. Yeah, Garland disappeared last year due to injury, but Harden disappears in the playoffs just due to a lack of desire. Like Harden, we talked about it. Philly, he disappeared. Harden, Brooklyn, I think there was a hamstring there as well, but he disappeared. Harden, Clippers, he disappeared. So why do we now think that all of a sudden Harden will do for the Cavs what he hasn't been able to do in Philly, what he hasn't been able to do with the Clippers, what he hasn't been able to do with the Brooklyn Nets? Does he get him closer or further away?
I don't see how he gets them closer. And honestly, I think it's a matter of, we can give this a try, where as the Cavs as is are not title contenders, regardless of what their record was last year.
Hold on. How can you say a 1 seed last year that had size, had length, had stretch bigs, had scores, had bench? How can you say that they're not contenders?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, Donovan Mitchell is your guy who's supposed to lead you to a championship. And he's a 6'2", 6'3" shooting guard. And when you get to whether it's the Boston Celtics or the Detroit Pistons, you've got teams that can match up and make the game hard on him. And he's a scorer, not a playmaker. Like the difference between Cade Cunningham, who is 6'6" and can score and can get Jalen Duren and all those guys going, the difference between him and Donovan Mitchell is the difference between leaving in the second round or making it to the conference finals and beyond. So that's the heart of it. And James Harden doesn't change that dynamic. And we found that out last year. Like, there's no more discovery here. And didn't we see this with Donovan Mitchell in Utah? This is not the first team that he's been with that's been a number 1 seed and then gotten nowhere near the conference finals or the finals. So that's the dynamic that we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I hear you with Mitchell, because you probably want more, right? But then again, like last year, Garland, I mean, he keeps getting injured.
Yeah.
Right? No, and you got a guard that's really, really good, because I like Garland. I think he's really, really good. But then we get to the playoffs and you're not available, that doesn't matter. And I think Mitchell gets blamed for that. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, I guess he's a superstar. Right. So I don't know. You got a point there, but I just think it's hard because like you need all your weapons. The way that we've the number 1 seed, I need all my players that got us there. Yeah. In the playoffs, they all don't be playing.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I don't know that James solves it, because the other issue that you have is with Donovan and Darius, you had a really small backcourt, which is going to hurt you defensively, right? Well, James isn't going to solve the defensive problem coming in there. Correct. So you're still vulnerable that way, and that's why I think that while you can dress this up and say we're trying to dynamic and get us closer to a title, I really think this was a matter of we got the second highest payroll, and we privately do not think that we're going to be playing for a championship. Wow. Let's try to get our books right and get off some money. Because I'll give you an example. Yep. The Golden State Warriors have the highest payroll right now. The highest. Joe Lacob is going to pay an $81 million tax on top of the $236 million in salary. You're talking about money that's going out the door. that and because of the way the salary cap is structured, it handcuffs you in terms of your ability to sign like the mid-level exception and add any other pieces.
Yeah.
These new salary cap rules are why we've had exactly 2 trades in the league so far. Last year we had like 25, 26.
Oh, right, that's true. Right. Oh, is that? Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's everybody's like we can't move pieces because of the way the cap rules are, that they're locked, and I think it's a mistake by the NBA because like the juice for them for the NBA has been, we're talking about player movement, guys going different places.
People like that though. Fans like that. Fans like to be involved.
Absolutely. That's why I think it's a mistake to have these rules.
Yeah, like trade deadlines on any sport. It's like, oh my God, fans are glued to the TV. They're glued to their phones. And now if you can't do no trades, it's like,
more so NBA maybe than any other league, because one move can change the dynamic of your team.
Rick, let me ask you this before we move on to a Draymond Green conversation. How does this impact James Harden's legacy? It's one thing to ring chase. It's another thing to ring chase and not actually get a ring. So at the point in which he's played for the Thunder, played for the Rockets, played for the Nets, played for the Clippers, played for the Cavs, if you ring chase and get a ring, we almost forgive you. If you ring chase and don't get a ring, you kind of look like a laughing stock. How does this impact James Harden's legacy?
I don't know that it does, because it's not like he asked to go to Cleveland. Like if it was, or if he's signing with Cleveland or whatever, like he's being traded. And I don't know, for me, James Harden's legacy, whatever it is already cemented.
I agree with that.
Tremendous scorer. Yeah. Like had a certain period of a heyday, but was never a postseason phenomenon. And
I agree with that.
He's already in a category that I don't know that anything he can do at this point is going to change it. And I could tell a story, but I won't.
I look at James Harden like Slick just said. Like, for me, his legacy is cemented. Yeah. He's one of the greatest shooting guards, point guards, whatever you want to put him in. One of the best offensive scorers we've ever seen. Yep. And then change the game from manipulating the defense and the referees to call certain fouls, the step back. Like, his game is his game. And I think we won't think of like championships or playoffs. We won't think of that of him. We think of him as an ultimate great scorer. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. So him going to different teams at this point of his career, I don't think it matters.
Yeah, that's fair. Hey, Slick, for the sake of time, let's move to the next one. Draymond Green.
Oh, my God.
I saw